after a delay, George's prediction, and just generally a lot of bad things happening in the world. Finally, Marvel Studios' Black Widow has finally come home on DVD. Hey everyone, Joe here from Action. Welcome to a DVD unboxing. It's been a long time since I did one of these solo ones, and I was a bit not in the mood. I won't explain why. DVD unboxing had kind of taken a pause. I'll explain more of that at another time, but we've done every single MCU film DVD unboxing since Thor: The Dark World, so I had to say, you know what, I'm still doing it for Black Widow. Probably Shang-Chi will be out before the end of the year, so hopefully that doesn't screw up the plans. But honestly, this could be one of the last DVD unboxings, period, on this channel. I'll end the tease there. But anyway, here it is. Here we have it. Black Widow, the first film of Phase 4 of the MCU. Technically not the first project of the MCU since because of COVID-19 and just everything else. The Disney Plus shows actually became the starter for Phase 4, which was WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and Loki. And I'm honestly kind of still bummed that we're not getting DVD releases, or at least some sort of home media version of them. I know Disney Plus is very much of a premium exclusive offering. Like if you want to see it anywhere, you got to only see it on Disney Plus. I really hope down the line they do change this format. Maybe like after 3, 4, maybe even 5 years on the service, maybe they'll give it to other people who have yet to purchase it. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it happens. But here it is, finally, Phase 4's first installment on DVD, Black Widow. And well, I'll get to my thoughts in a bit because it's been a while. So we have the cover, the poster, which is just I believe this is the original 2020 poster before the delay, because there was a different poster, a more whiter one with the White Widow suit that they use. I remember that one. I honestly liked. It's weird because like I'm trying not to be so critical about this, but I'm gonna say most of my thoughts to the end. I did not put Black Widow that high on the list, and most of its promotion material just it didn't really hook me in. I don't know what. I don't know what. I guess maybe it was the Disney Plus shows kind of ruining it for me, or maybe it just could be just this is the first Phase 4 film and it has to be a prequel. So nothing about these posters besides the last one we got before the movie finally came out. It didn't really hook me in. And here's the thing about me: if you're unaware about me, even if you're watching me for the last decade or just in the last couple months, red is my favorite color. And even though this cover is screaming red, I am not a big fan of this. I don't know why. Normally I'm never a big fan of DVDs that just reuse the cover. I'm really not. Just I would have maybe preferred them using the white one. I know they have different variations for like the Blu-ray and the 4K Ultra HD and the Target collector's edition and the Blu-ray, not the Blu-ray, the Steelbook Best Buy exclusive. I understand that, but I'm just like, maybe we could have just skipped the red one. Maybe the red one was just a 2020 thing, but okay, whatever. Moving onwards. Side profile, returning to the old-fashioned, and because the last one, which was Spider-Man Far From Home, it was really different because Sony's home media division is different from Disney's Buena Vistas, I believe it still is. But and we have the back synopsis of the movie. No special features. Not surprised. This is honestly, I'm not really surprised. DVD has just kind of like downgraded itself from. Oh god, I really hope the microphone didn't turn me into a squirrel again because I accidentally hit the cable. Oh boy, we'll check in post. Anyway, so I'm not surprised DVD is going down. I think there was I probably talked about this in a previous unboxing months ago, years ago. That there was, I don't know which company it was, but I think they announced that they were going to cut off home media releases in general and just go strict to digital and streaming. But I think the backlash was just so much that they said, you know what, no, that was kind of like a tease or a prediction, like that's not actually going to happen. But the fact is that I got so worried at first before today. I thought for a good second this movie was just not going to get a DVD release because I checked online on Target, I checked online on Best Buy, I checked everywhere that had DVD listings, and this was not listed. So technically online-wise, you cannot purchase Black Widow on DVD. You cannot. So you just got to go to your local store and pick it up. So that's kind of a little sad that, they're actually just cutting out the online version. If you want it, it's probably just going to be a one-time thing physically, and then after that, that's it. So that does suck, but hopefully my my commitment to these will keep me going at least for a while longer. Anyway, let's open this up. So sadly, it is a Disney movie, so traditional, gray disc, logo. code for the digital version. I already used it before I did the unboxing, so there you go. So you don't have to stop there. Anyway, this is my first time talking about Black Widow at all, because I've talked about it with only a handful of my friends, because I saw Black Widow in theaters because I want to support it. This was, I believe Black Widow was the very first movie I went back to theaters for. Not Fast 9. I don't believe, I know there's another big movie that came out beforehand, but Black Widow was the first movie I came back to theaters for. And honestly, after also seeing Shang-Chi a couple weeks ago, honestly, this hurts to say, I did not enjoy the movie as much as I should have. Considering how Phase 4 has been, like Phase 4 has been about new beginnings and also carrying on the legacy. It feels so weird because WandaVision was meant to be the show to kind of really tackle on the emotional effects after Endgame. The Falcon Winter Soldier was all about the gripe of succeeding and carrying on a mantle, a legacy. Loki was just time travel shenanigans with a different Loki. And also kind of breaking the multiverse and, you know, getting that all established before No Way Home and What If and Doctor Strange 2 comes out. Black Widow, it's literally out of every Phase 4 installment that has been released so far, that is coming out, this is a sore thumb. Black Widow sadly feels like the film that they knew they wanted to make, but sadly it just got shot. I honestly believe Black Widow should have came out during Phase 3. This feels like a Phase 3 thing, because again, had Black Widow, I feel like sadly COVID-19 did negatively affect this film. I know the movie was shot, the movie was all completed before COVID-19 hit. The film was basically done, but then COVID-19 released, theaters weren't ready to go, so they had to push it back so many damn times. I understand that. The thing is that this movie would have been great as a transitional point. Like, we didn't know what Phase 4 was going to be fully. Far From Home gave us a little bit of a peek at the post-Endgame world. Black Widow would have been like, hey, here's a fun reminder of how things were before Endgame. And then we're going to give you a couple of teases of what could come after Endgame. That was kind of like the lore of like me thinking now I'm talking about this. Like that could have been a really great hook to like, hey, this kind of feels like the same. It's been a year. Let's get you back into this world, but also give you like a taste of like things are going to be different going forward. But then the problem was Black Widow came out after we got 3 firmly established post-Endgame projects that definitely took advantage of that. Going back, kind of also on, like, again, this is a prequel, so it's like there was absolutely no way they were going to get around it. The whole, yeah, Natasha's dead in Endgame, so any sort of life-threatening situation she was in this movie, she's going to survive. I mean, obviously that's going to be the case there. But honestly, the sad thing about this is I'm also very well aware of the lawsuit that's going on between Scarlett Johansson and Disney. I'm aware of that. I won't bring that much up here and to see how that goes. Honestly, in my opinion, even though I support Disney a lot on a lot of things, I do not support them on this. I do believe if there's contracts in place and there are just certain conditions and reasonings that are met, then I do believe Miss Johansson does have a claim to those bases. But again, this is just a preliminary. There's no trial yet. There's no I think it was just I think she just put the motion for a lawsuit, but nothing's happened of it yet. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is definitely Scarlett Johansson's last project in the MCU. There's absolutely no way she's going back after this, which makes sense. But anyway, to go back on the film, this film definitely felt more of like, this felt like more of a setup for what Red Guardian and also, I'm gonna really butcher the name here because it's been a while since I said her name, Yena. Florence's Pugh's character. This film definitely set them both up well to kind of be hopefully bigger parts of the MCU going forward. And it kind of does suck because this is supposed to be Black Widow's origin film, but at the same time, we already know Black Widow so much from Iron Man 2 to the Avengers film to the Captain America films to everything in between. We know her already, so it's kind of hard to really establish like a baseline origin. This is not really an origin story. We know pieces of her origins, and we just get more pieces of these origins in this movie. That's all we get. And while that is understandable for that to be the plot of the movie, it sticks out so hard because we are in this post-Endgame time. Like, we know this character already. We know her story. We know how it began, sort of, and we know how it ends definitively. I understand this film was just trying to like fill in the gaps, but again, it just came out at such a weird time. Even had COVID-19 not happened, let's put that in shine here. If it had not happened, I still think this film would have stood out like a sore thumb because after everything we've been through in Avengers Endgame, we kind of wanted to go into like this new bold world, and yeah, we would have gotten. I think what was it? Eternals next after that. I think Eternals was going to be like a summer movie, I believe. Again, no, that was a November movie. We would have gotten time to adjust, to acclimate to this new world. We would have gotten time, but the thing is that we got thrown into the new world, and then we were really expecting to go back. That was the issue that kind of played this film a little bit. Plus, also with the theatrical box run of like having a split theaters and Disney Plus run, I definitely do believe it kind of hurt it a lot. Again, I'm actually curious to see how this movie would have performed if we were in times differently. Honestly, this movie I could have easily saw this. And before you say like, yeah, what about Captain Marvel broke 1 billion? I know it broke 1 billion. I know that. But with Black Widow, there could have been an argument to make 1 billion. I feel like after, yeah, because I think every movie post Ant-Man and the Wasp has made 1 billion so far. So, yeah, so this was kind of like the first film not to do. I think this only finished was like around 350, 400 something. I think that's what I'm if somehow Shang-Chi beats this film at the end, that kind of just speaks volumes to like, this film should not have gotten a Disney Plus simultaneous release. I do believe Disney should have maintained a through line. Like, let's just put this in theaters 100%, see how it does. And because honestly, for me, I was still going to see it in theaters. I was honestly not down to play Disney Plus's $30 premium fee. I wasn't going to because I was going to own this movie anyway, which this movie did cost me $20. Spoilers for the end. So, and then also my ticket cost 15, so that was 35. So I know technically I would have basically paid more. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just do it in theaters. And saw it with two of my friends, Mike and Al, which you've seen before already on this show. But honestly, for me, I think Black Widow on my list was around. It wasn't even in the top half. It wasn't it. I think it was more along the lines of the bottom half. And even though technically I said before, I don't think there's a bad MCU project I've ever seen yet. Black Widow just feels like one of my less favorites, where it's so ironic because everything else that has come out, there's only 5 MCU Phase 4 projects right now that are finished. Of those other 5, of the 4 of the 5, they've ranked in the top half. And they're supposed to be coming after this established storytelling device, and they're telling these new broader stories with new characters, and keeping with the old one. It just still feels so weird that Black Widow is sadly just to stick out because she's one of the original 6. She definitely deserved better. I still believe it's a good movie. It just doesn't fit where we are right now. That's kind of what I have to say. It's still a good movie. It just sticks out very well. I feel like if you're going to do a rewatch of the MCU, just slot this film in Phase 3, in your Phase 3. See it after Civil War. That would be perfectly fine for me. But again, I think that's going to do it for me, everyone. So if you want to know, Black Widow, Marvel Studios Black Widow, is available at Target and Best Buy right now on DVD for $19.99 or $20 plus tax, so about $21, $22. Remember, this is not, you can't buy this online, so sad to say you can only buy this in stores. But again, this has been a DVD unboxing from Action X. If you like hearing my voice and talking about stuff, we have a show where we talk about all things in TV called What's in the Tube, so go check that out on Action X. Please subscribe for more. And as for DVD unboxings, I can't talk about more stuff yet, but there's a wink, 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 notch, notch, if that makes sense. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below. What did you think of Marvel Studios Black Widow? I'm always down for conversation below. Until we see each other again. Thanks a lot. Stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.